I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
Here I am in Skokie, Illinois, close to John Hughes territory, one of the more beautiful areas of Chicago. I've been here many times for many different videos, and today I'm here to visit the grave of Jerry Springer, passed away this year. Now, Jerry Springer had a talk show. I'm just gonna sit down here for a second. Had a talk show called The Jerry Springer Show, and it's one of the most popular talk shows ever. Talk show. You got to kind of put it in quotes. I'm not sure. A daytime reality talk. I mean, was it real? We're going to pay our respects to Jerry. I'm going to tell you about his life. I'm going to tell you that Jerry Springer himself said that his show, if you haven't seen his show, I don't know. How do can somebody describe it for me, please? I don't know how to describe it. It's a it's been all over the world. Everybody's seen episodes of Jerry Springer. It's the ultimate shock, sort of like Geraldo back in the day. You know, Maury Povich had a show like that, where people come on, air their dirty laundry, then there's a surprise guest who has something to do with them, and then all of a sudden they're chasing each other around the stage and bedlam ensues. The crowd chants, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. He has a snide remark or witty comment. And then sometimes things get resolved, sometimes they don't. And it's highly entertaining. Trash TV, sure, but I mean, we've all watched an episode of Jerry. We've all enjoyed it at some point. He himself said it was 98% real. 98%. I don't know how you come up with percentages sometimes. When people say, oh, it's 98%. Really? Did you do that math? I don't know. But Jerry Springer said 98% real, and I think, what was that? It's a weird sound. I think what happened was it kind of got out of control. Once it got very popular, they would have the guests on. Guests would approach them or write to them and say, this is our story. So they would sign and say, this story is true. Or else Jerry Springer's show would take legal action against you. I believe that's how it worked. But the more the show got popular, the more outlandish, I think they just kind of stopped checking and stopped. This is what I read on Screen Rant. This is what I read, that they kind of just, it took on a life of its own, and there was no way to really check. People brought the drama, brought the tea, spilled it, and I mean, somebody's sleeping with their cousin, and their cousin turns out to be their former baby daddy who is, in love with a couch. Something like that, And then the surprise guest comes out, it's a couch, and it's running, it's the baby daddy running out from behind the stage, and it was just bedlam all the time, and strangely addictive. So as the show went on, it aired for a long time, over 5,000 episodes, I believe. Ended in 2018. I think they just decided, well, let's just have anybody on. Let's just let it, not just, we'll check out their stories, but we're okay if they're not that real. So I don't think all of it was real. I think a lot of it, people once wanted their 15 minutes of fame, and hey, can you blame them? For that type of publicity, I'm not sure how many people would want that, but some people did. They wanted the claim to fame to be on Jerry, and they wanted to be humiliated. Strange. So Jerry's not too far from here. I'm just going to take a walk through here. I've been to this cemetery before, and right now it was quite an ordeal to get here because so many roads are closed around it. I had to find one entrance that was open, and I was surprised that it was going to be open because of all the construction in this area. Do you know that Jerry Springer had 2 degrees? Political science degree, a law degree. He worked on the presidential campaign of Robert F. Kennedy. Early 70s, he embarked on his own political career. You may know about what's happening, but this story about Jerry, and I'm laughing, but it's interesting. In the early 70s, he started his own political career in Ohio. He was on Cincinnati's city council. In 74, he was forced to resign from the council over controversy involving a prostitute, and I believe it was discovered about this prostitute because he paid with a check. I don't know, but I think if you're trying to cover something up, you don't pay by check. I think that's a mistake Jerry made. You don't leave a paper trail. So Cincinnati was pretty conservative, but he was a liberal. He was elected mayor of the city in 1977. He served for a year. He made a failed bid for a Democratic nomination for governor of Ohio. And then afterwards, he turned to television journalism. He considered a return to politics in 2004 to run for the U.S. Senate, but he did not. So in the early 80s, he began working as a reporter. He won 7 Emmy Awards. In 1991, he branched out into talk shows, and that was the debut of the Jerry Springer Show. Initially, it was about politics. It was like a serious show. But they had bad ratings. So, it went under a massive overhaul. And by the mid-90s, it was known for things such as incest, adultery, a lot of adultery. I think adultery would be the, main topic. There's a lot of people yelling at each other. Physical fights, profanity, the people on it were wearing nothing, A lot of people hated it, called it trash TV, like I mentioned earlier. But it was very popular. There was even an opera named after it. Like an opera, a Jerry Springer opera. And that opera won a Laurence Olivier Award for Best New Musical, and it was in various U.S. cities. It debuted in London. Isn't that wild? It actually won. I guess it was good. I don't know. In 2018, the show was canceled. Production was halted. It was announced, I remember, that the TV show would move to CW, where some previously unseen episodes were expected to air. But in 2019, that's when Judge Jerry debuted. That lasted to 2022. He would preside over legal disputes, like Judge Judy type of thing. Now, I don't know if you remember, but he was in a movie called The Ringmaster, which is loosely based on the Jerry Springer Show. And that's a guilty pleasure. There's no doubt about it. That is a guilty pleasure, that movie. It was ranked as one of the worst movies of all time. It grossed next to nothing. But there's something about it that's kind of watchable. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I remember it. He hosted America's Got Talent 2007, Miss Universe pageant. He starred as Billy Flynn in the London production of Chicago. What? He had an autobiography named Ringmaster. Now, he had a wife. They were still married at the time of his death, but it was reported that they divorced in 1994. Mickey Velton, married in 1973. But I believe they were still together right up until the end. They had a daughter named Katie. Sadly, Jerry Springer just this year, April 27th, 2023, at the age of 79, pancreatic cancer. He died at his home just south of here in Evanston, Illinois. Jerry Springer. There's something else I want to say about him, and it's not clicking. I'm kind of forgetting what I want to say about Jerry Springer. Oh, I think I know what. There's something extremely likable about him. Even though it was trashy and it was, it was trashy TV. And knew a lot of it was set up and fake and all that. But his little comments he would make, his little remarks, there's something about him that you just loved. And he was the voice of reason through all the chaos. So that helped too. And he just seemed like a cool guy. He just seemed like an interesting, I just told you about his life. What an interesting life. Pretty crazy. His grave should be just around the corner, right around the corner of the bush. Let's pay our respects to Jerry. Jerry. I'm honestly not too sure exactly where Jerry is. I know he's at the center, the entrance to the cemetery. So probably right in this little area. Find a grave always is pretty much right on. Thank you, Find a Grave, always. And I think he's somewhere in here. Let's just take a look. It's a beautiful cemetery, Memorial Park Cemetery. I think Jerry's in here. We're going to find out. There he is. Well, there you go. Right there. Springer. A nice bench for him. Gerald Norman. Margaret Joanne. There you are. So that will be his wife, and she's going to be buried with him. No death date yet for Jerry. So of course he spelled it with a J, Jerry Springer, but that's Gerald Norman Springer right there. Let's hope his wife lives a lot longer and is around for a long time. Just come right in the gate. There you go. So yeah, the front end, the Grosse Pointe Road entrance is right there. It's kind of the main entrance, but there is an entrance on Skokie as well, and that one closes early. So the one on Grosse Pointe is open usually later during summer, spring hours, but probably fall, winter, I would assume it closes earlier. There he is. And that's my video about Jerry Springer. It's the middle of the day here, but the light just keeps the sun is going behind clouds, and it's just getting dark and light and dark. Rest in peace, Jerry. A lot of laughs. Check out The Ringmaster one time. Maybe watch it. I don't know. Maybe you like it. I kind of did. But I'm a moron. Thank you for watching, everybody. I love you all. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. Peace out.